Another month of 2023 has been wrapped up, so now it's time to look back at all of the coolest New Balance releases and reveals of the month of April. As usual, I'll start off the video with all of the coolest New Balance releases that released in April, and I'll end off the video with all of the New Balances that were revealed or leaked in the month of April. First up, we have the official release of the 990 V6 in the core black colorway. Not too much to say about this colorway other than the fact that it is a clean core colorway for the V6. This core black colorway is featured in all 990 versions and it looks great in the V6. I already did a review on these if you want to see more of my thoughts on the black V6. And next up are the final two shoes from Teddy Santis Season 2. This 990 V2 in the brown and tan colorway actually already released via SNS earlier on in the year. I think as early as January. I have to look back, but this colorway finally got a wider release. This colorway was really popular. It's one of my personal favorites from Teddy Santis Season 2 in terms of neutral tone colorways, and they're sitting on NewBalance.com in a full-size run, which is awesome. And the final shoe from Teddy Santis Season 2 is the black and tan 990 V3. I personally think this colorway is a little underwhelming. It looks too much similar to the core black 990 V3, just with some pan accents. But regardless, it's a pretty simple and clean shoe. And next up are two new colorways for the 991. Both are solid color GRs and both consist of hairy suede bases, one of which is a dark green and the other one is an interesting shade of brown. They're both really simple and premium colorways for the 991, so if you're looking for a nice premium GR in a simple one color colorway, these are definitely worth checking out. And next up are two simple and clean colorways for the 576, the Monk's Robe and the Pale Mauve colorway. I personally like the Pale Mauve colorway the best because it's yet another pink New Balance, and as I always say, New Balance always kills it with pink, and this 576 colorway looks awesome. And next up is another 991 GR that consists of a leather and tweed textile material base and is in this simple black colorway. Despite it just being a mostly black shoe, it is interesting to see the switch up of materials and new textures, which I think is really cool. So if you're looking for a premium 991 with different materials, this is definitely worth checking out. And next up is a new silhouette that I think debuted at the very end of March or at the very beginning of April, but I'll put it in this video regardless, and that is the New Balance Fresh Foam X More Trail V3. This is a very interesting lifestyle slash hiking silhouette. Obviously that midsole consists of a bunch of Fresh Foam X, so this shoe is probably very soft and squishy on feet, and it's really interesting, and it seems like it got some early colorways from Tokyo Design Studios. The colorways just consist of one solid color throughout the entire shoe, and they look pretty interesting. And next up, the highly anticipated ALD 860 V2 colorway pack finally dropped. They released via raffle as well as first come first serve. I went for the green colorway via the raffle and got lucky. All three colorways look pretty solid on the 860 silhouette, and ALD's accents and details are always great on these shoes, and it's really cool to see the original silhouette that made the midsole and outsole that the 2002R and 1906R share. And next up is the Kith Frank Lloyd Wright Foundation 998 collaboration pack. This collaboration pack consisted of two different 998 colorways, this chutney colorway as well as the apricot colorway. The apricot colorway only released via Kith, and the chutney colorway released both via Kith and NewBalance.com. Even the apricot colorway aren't really going for too much on the resale market right now, so if you really want these colorways, I definitely recommend you pick them up right now because these are both really great colorways. And on the 998, I'm excited that the 998 is finally making a comeback, and it definitely had a pretty solid start with Kith in this collaboration pack. I think the colorway looks great, and I really loved how they try to make the shape of this collaboration similar to the OG 998. And next up is the RLE RC30 collaboration pack. Similar to RLE's XC72 collaborations, these RC30 colorways both consist of just a solid colored shoe in premium hairy suede, and I think they look really dope. RLE always kills it with their 70s inspired New Balance collaboration shoes, and they always manage to sell out despite being not that popular silhouettes. This pack consisted of a green colorway and a brown colorway. I personally like the green colorway the best, and overall it's another rock solid collaboration from RLE. And next up is the Run the Burrows New Balance 576 TCS London Marathon collaboration. This collaboration between Run the Burrows and New Balance is really solid. I really love the colorway. I like the multiple tones of green and the hits of gray. It looks really great, and that gum outsole is always great. The 576 is a pretty simple and clean silhouette, and I can appreciate all the small details around the collaboration, and overall it's a pretty rock solid collaboration colorway. And to wrap up all of the New Balance releases of April 2023, we have the Joe Freshgoods Beneath the Surface collaboration pack. This collaboration pack between Joe Freshgoods and New Balance consisted of 3 shoes, 2 610 colorways, and 1 Rainier. The first 610 consists of a bright orange base and a camo secondary layer. It's a very loud and wild shoe, and I think it really fits the 610 model, and outdoor/trail aesthetic. And the next 610 is my personal favorite of the 3 in the collaboration pack, and this 610 mostly consists of a light orange base with some topographic embroidery details on it with a black secondary layer. And overall, I think this colorway just looks really good, and it works really well on the 610 silhouette. And the last shoe in the collab is a Rainier that consists of a green suede base layer and a camo secondary layer. I think the overall colorway really fits the Rainier, and I really like the switch up to the N logo since the Rainier typically uses the MB logo. All 3 shoes from this collaboration pack were definitely not cheap, and it seems like they weren't too popular because the 2 shoes that actually dropped on newbalance.com are currently sitting in decent size runs. And the bright orange colorway that I think only dropped through Joe Freshgoods' Instagram store isn't reselling for that much. Of course, that doesn't mean that the collaboration pack is by any means bad, but I think it's just interesting because this is probably the first Joe Freshgoods collaboration, with the exception of the Conversations Amongst Us shoes that didn't immediately sell out. And now I'm going to go over all of the coolest reveals or leaks of the month of April 2023. First up, we have a new 580 GR colorway. This colorway actually already dropped on Above the Clouds, so I guess you could technically say it already released, but it's yet to have a wider release and a US release. This is the Mauve colorway, but I like to call it the Rose colorway because it's a nice shade of rose pink, and you guys already know what I'm gonna say. It's yet another pink New Balance that looks amazing, and once this gets a wider release, I'm definitely gonna be copping it. It looks awesome on the 580 silhouette, and I'm sure the suede is going to be pretty great quality for its price. Speaking of the 580, Comme des Garçons is going to be collaborating on the 580 model in 2 simple colorways. You got a black colorway and a white colorway. In typical Comme des Garçons New Balance collaboration fashion, these 2 collaboration colorways just look like GRs with the exception of the CDG logo in the back. They're by no means bad shoes, they just look like GRs and are for some reason CDG collabs that are at a higher price. And next up, we have a new collaboration on the Rainier with Junya Watanabe. This collaboration is like a combination of the New Balance Rainier and the classic Timberland boot colorway mashed into one. It's a very simple and clean collaboration colorway, and I think it really fits the Rainier. And next up is potentially the 3rd Action Bronson 990 V6 colorway, this being the gray and orange colorway. This gray and orange colorway is almost exactly like the gray and yellow colorway that was revealed by Bronson about a month ago. Instead of yellow in the midsole and bottom of the shoe, it's orange, and I personally like this colorway better because orange is one of my favorite colors, and I think bright orange looks great on the very chunky 990 V6 silhouette. It's yet another Action Bronson 990 V6 colorway to get excited about. And next up, we have a Concepts collaboration on the 998 that is based off an older Concepts collaboration on the 997S hybrid silhouette. Like the shoe it's based off of, the base of the shoe is going to be an almost all hot pink suede upper with 3M reflective accents, as well as a white midsole and some orange accents around the shoe. The original colorway looks excellent. I'm a big fan of the 997S hybrid silhouette, but of course one of my favorite silhouettes of all time time from New Balance is the 998, so I'm really excited to see this awesome colorway on the 998. And next up, we have a new collaboration with United Arrows on the 990 V3 in this dark gray colorway. I don't really care too much for this collaboration. I know it's definitely going to be popular. It's a United Arrows collaboration, and it's a very simple gray 990 V3, so it's definitely going to be popular, but I personally think it's just a little too basic, and I don't really care too much for this dark gray color. And next up are two new 580 colorways from Size, one of which is a light green and brown colorway, and the other one is a brown and purple colorway. Both of these colorways look rock solid on the 580. I think this is going to be an excellent collaboration. I really like the 580, and it has a lot of potential for awesome colorways and collaborations, and this is definitely one of them. And next up is a better look at the upcoming Bodega New Balance 610 collaboration. This collaboration looks really good on the 610. It's a mostly blue tonal upper. You got multiple shades of blue and navy, as well as hits of gray, as well as hits of some bright yellow around the shoe. I think yellow and blue is always a pretty great combination, and I feel like this silhouette is perfect for a Bodega collaboration. I don't know the best way to explain it, but I think Bodega just did another excellent job on this model, as is all of their collaborations. And to round off the video, we have a new silhouette from Jaden Smith and New Balance. I'm not too sure what this silhouette is going to be called. It's a very interesting silhouette. I like this a lot more than the Vision Racer. It seems to be an 80s basketball inspired silhouette and or skate shoe inspired model. I think I'll just let the picture do it justice. I think the midsole is really interesting in how it's split up. I'm not too sure how I feel about it. As I said, I do like it better than the chunky Vision Racer, but it's definitely going to be a really interesting new original silhouette. There were definitely a lot of New Balance releases and reveals during the month of April, and I'd definitely like to know what your guys' favorite New Balance releases or reveals in the comments. So that's gonna do it for this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Follow me on my socials. Check out the Intelligence site for more New Balance content and guides. If you really loved the video, please consider leaving a tip in the tip jar below, and thanks for watching.